What if I told you a new document has quietly revealed exactly where XRP is heading, while the public is distracted by surface-level headlines? Let's dive deep into what they're not telling you, what was silently confirmed, and what these quiet moves mean for XRP's short and long-term future. Hello everyone. Welcome to Daily Stock Update. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads, and also enter our giveaway. But before that, alert, this is not a financial advice video. So let's begin with something that's been frustrating for a lot of people in the financial space. The latest speech from Jerome Powell. Now we were all waiting for something solid, something definitive. But instead, what did we get? Another vague commentary filled with generalities and hesitations. Powell essentially dodged giving any forward-looking statement and repeated that inflation has slowed, but not enough to cut rates, at least not just yet. Now, anyone observing closely can see how calculated this all is. While inflation has clearly eased compared to the heights we saw over the past year, Powell still refuses to give a direct answer about what to expect in September. And this indecisiveness doesn't just create confusion. It keeps the entire market in a state of suspended animation. Investors are left to speculate, and that speculation is what continues to shake up the market every time a new speech drops. Shortly after the Fed announcement, the markets did take a brief dip, but quickly rebounded. It's like traders are growing used to Powell's vague signals, almost as if the uncertainty itself has become part of the forecast. But even as the market regains footing, there's one space that's rapidly evolving beneath all this noise: digital assets, and in particular, XRP. While Powell was spinning rhetorical circles, President Donald Trump publicly criticized him, calling him too slow, too political, and unfit for the role. Say what you want about the former president, but one thing is clear: his words carry weight, especially when they reflect growing dissatisfaction with how the financial system is being managed. Now, let's pivot to something far more important: an official report that recently dropped. Spanning over 160 pages, this document wasn't just another regulatory update. It was a carefully constructed blueprint outlining how the U.S. plans to engage with digital financial technology moving forward. And while many dismissed it as vague or lacking any specific focus on individual tokens, there's more under the surface than meets the eye. This document didn't go out of its way to mention XRP on every page, and it wasn't supposed to. It wasn't designed to hype any specific token or project. Instead, its focus was on regulation, utility classification, and long-term compliance. And while some in the community expected XRP to be front and center, what's far more important is how much of this report hints at the infrastructure Ripple has already built. Take a moment and think about how far the U.S. crypto landscape has come. Just 1 year ago, we wouldn't have imagined government-led task forces openly discussing cross-border payments, tokenization of financial systems, and integrating blockchain into international financial strategies. Now, it's not just being discussed, it's being studied and planned. One part of the report highlights international collaboration on digital assets and the importance of creating a future-proof financial system that works across borders. Now, even though XRP isn't mentioned explicitly here, if you're familiar with Ripple's mission, this is exactly what they've been preparing for. Ripple has been building cross-border solutions for years, and XRP sits at the heart of those systems. So, while the report might not say it outright, the framework being discussed is clearly aligned with what Ripple offers. This subtle validation is further supported by what we're seeing in the corporate world. For example, the CEO of Nasdaq, yes, one of the most powerful figures in global finance, is scheduled to speak at Ripple's major annual event, Ripple Swell. This is a woman ranked among the most influential leaders globally. She doesn't attend events without purpose. And that's not all. Also confirmed to speak is the head of digital assets at BlackRock. This is the same institution where Larry Fink has openly declared that everything, from stocks to bonds, will be tokenized in the future. The fact that BlackRock is engaging directly with Ripple's ecosystem tells us that the future of digital finance will not be built without XRP playing a foundational role. Now, let's take a step back and look at the larger picture. Why would NASDAQ and BlackRock leaders attend an XRP-centered event if Ripple wasn't building towards something monumental? These aren't small companies looking to explore possibilities. These are powerhouses, deeply embedded in traditional finance, now investing time and attention into blockchain-based innovation. And while many in the XRP community are eager to see immediate recognition from regulators or flashy headlines announcing XRP's dominance, the truth is more subtle, but even more powerful. The real power lies in the partnerships being formed, the quiet groundwork being laid, and the people aligning themselves with Ripple's vision. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that a government report must scream XRP to be considered a win, but smart investors look for indirect confirmations. Ripple being in the room with global financial giants is not a coincidence. It's a signal, a quiet, steady, strategic signal that this train is moving forward, and fast. What we're witnessing right now is the institutionalization of blockchain. The players who will define the future are meeting, speaking, and building behind closed doors. Ripple is not just attending these meetings, they're hosting them. This alone should tell you more about the trajectory of XRP than any single paragraph in a federal report ever could. As we move further into 2025, the volume of catalysts is only increasing. Whether it's tokenization, cross-border interoperability, or international regulation, the pieces of the puzzle are fitting together. And XRP is perfectly positioned to benefit as this transformation unfolds. So, to wrap this all up, don't get distracted by what isn't said out loud. Focus on the movements in the background. XRP isn't just a speculative asset anymore. It's becoming an integral part of the new financial ecosystem being built. Friends, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about today's video? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.